Good evening. This is Liz Busquets, and tonight is March 10th, 2022. This is the monthly ASCA Board of Directors meeting. And if you're tuning in for the first time, we go down the agenda, and then if there is a vote or a motion, we can do that. And then all directors get an opportunity to comment or ask questions as I go around. So the first item on tonight's agenda is, as usual, the last month's email business.
This is me. I make most stuff the emails of last month.
I'll second.
Okay, I think. Okay, so I have a motion by Denise, seconded by Jean, to approve last month's email business. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Very well. The next item in the agenda will be the system liaisons report, and that will be Gina.
Okay, I'm going to make this very short. I do want everyone to realize that the ASCA team, basically, besides the testers and stuff, the 4 people that are the core of the team spend a minimum of 5 to 6 hours a day, a lot of times 7 days a week. So it's really a lot of work that they're putting in. Anyway, with that said, fingers crossed, toes crossed, we are at the end of our testing. We have submitted all of the bugs, and the fixes have now just today come back to us. So we spent today retesting, and we will spend part of tomorrow retesting. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll wipe out the data on the dogs we're testing, and then we will regenerate the titles, and we will test that over the weekend. And if everything goes good, we will probably Monday afternoon, bring the production database cut over to the business office. With any luck, we'll be running titles on Tuesday. I do want to add that adding the titles, the amount of work that went into the agility program, the titles in agility was just, I mean, it was hours upon hours. And I'm sure Sherry Butler can verify this because she spent a lot of time on the phone with our team and the inventive team. So that was part of the delay. So, you know, that's that. With any luck, it'll all work, and we will be online on Tuesday. I also do want to mention that Inventive, their team is around the world, and their QA team, which does the QA for our program, is in Ukraine. And Nina, who is our QA person, the last I heard was in a bomb shelter in the Ukraine with her daughter and didn't know where her husband was. So I would hope everybody will keep her safety and everybody's safety in Ukraine in their thoughts. So that's all I have. Keep your fingers crossed that we are online next week. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, any questions?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Gina. That's what I was going to say. Any questions for Gina? Well,
I just want to thank Gina again for all the work that she and the rest of that staff have put into it, because without that, it just wouldn't have happened. And I really am appreciative. Thank you.
Thank you. I will tell you that it has been really, really kind of neat that as we're working, Maureen has just been outstanding doing the documentation. And every time Inventive says, well, we need this and we need it documented, Maureen says, you have it, we already sent it. So it's like, it's just really cool. So her work is paid off, and everybody's work, Ray, everybody, Martin, all of them, all paid off. So thanks to all of them.
Thank you very much, Gina. All right, so I think we move forward now. Okay, the Scent Search program, and that would be Denise.
Denise. Well, the first thing I want to do is really commend the Scent Search Committee. The chair is Donna Armstrong, and she has worked countless hours on this with her team. There's 17 people on that committee, and there are some days that my email screens is like one after another of the Scent Search, and there's so much discussion, great discussion. Anyway, so they finally have a mission statement and a rule book pretty well set up, which they have sent to the board, and several people have made comments. And I'm happy to say that most of the comments that I have seen are primarily, I would say, clerical, punctuation, sort of thing. Very little real changes that need to be done. So that's, listen, everybody, I'd like to hear what everybody here on the board has to say about it. But I'm really thankful for them. And I know that people are excited to start with scent work. And it'll just be a great recreational thing for older people, older dogs, urban people that don't have property, don't have other animals, don't have pretty dogs, don't have whatever, that do the other programs, that can do this in their house. They can do it locally and have a great time with it. So I think that this program that they have set out is very detailed and very precise on every little thing. I don't know a thing about scent work, so if it makes sense to me, I hope it'll make sense to the people who know all about it. So that's what I know right now. Are there any questions? So if you have any questions or any comments about board members, I'd like to hear those as we go around. Thanks a lot, Liz.
All right. So let me go around, and I'm hoping everybody read the program, and we can have at least some initial comments to provide. And then it says here that by they want all the comments by March 24th. Is that right, Denise?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if some directors have not yet sent that, make sure you do that by March 24th. Okay, so Anne.
I actually have already sent, I went through and did a detailed edit of the entire rule book and the charts that she set up, and I actually just talked to Donna about it last night, and she just had a few questions for me, and I clarified. And I think, as I said to her, it's like, I know nothing about, I know it's not a little thing about scent search, but that how it was laid out made sense, and that it followed along well, and I think that it'll work. So yes, I've already submitted my feedback. Thanks.
Thank you, Anne. Carol?
Yeah, I read through all of that, and I agree that it looked like it was very detailed, but it made sense. I also do not have experience in the scent search area, but it made sense to me, and it looked like they really covered their bases. So I was very happy to see it, as I know that I've had several people approach me about ASCA having this program. So I'm excited to have it go into play, and it looked very good to me. So thank you for everyone who worked on it.
Thank you, Carol. I'm going to skip Denise and go to Gina.
Yes, I've only kind of quickly perused through it. It looks really good to me. I plan on this weekend going through with a fine-tooth comb and sending my comments. So far it looks good. Thank you, Donna and team.
All right, Jan.
It looks good to me. I also noticed that the committee has been doing some edits, and several of the edits I was going to send to them was already caught by the team. And really appreciate them getting this project going. And like the other board members, people are ready for this program to come out. So I look forward to seeing a finished rule book that we can vote on. Thanks.
Thank you, Jan. Jean.
Yeah, I made some edits. I haven't submitted them yet, and I've asked Anne to see hers because I'm going to guess that she probably already beat me to it, so there's no reason for me to to continue. But Denise, I mean, thank the team. They've done a great job, and you know, the beautiful thing about scent work is really, truly, any dog can do it. Including dogs with physical limitations and handlers with physical limitations. So anyhow, yeah, tell them thank you, and I'll make sure that I get my stuff to you by the 24th. Thanks.
Thank you, Jean. Rick?
Yes, I'm still working through the document, but I would like to thank the committee and Denise for moving forward with this. I know this is a whole lot more than what we received last time. It's very, from what I see, it looks very thorough, and I think it'll be well received by the membership. I'm kind of excited to maybe get started myself here in Texas. So I think it'll be fun, something new for the dogs. And thank you, committee. Thank you, Donna, for all of your hard work.
Thanks, Rick. Susan?
Yeah, this is so much more thorough than what we had seen previously. So the committee has definitely been doing a lot of work, and I think just give them our appreciation for taking it from the ground up. I mean, we're talking starting from scratch. So looks like they've done a really good job, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of response we get once we get it rolled out. Thanks.
Thanks, Susan. Yeah, I looked through it, and I had made some, corrections to it. But if Anne already sent those corrections as far as typos and such, then I probably won't send those. But I was able to understand. I mean, I have never done any kind of scent work whatsoever, but I was still able to understand what the requirements are and how are things supposed to be laid out. So I think that it is pretty good, and I am excited about it. And like Rick, I think that I would like to try it myself. And I already have one dog in mind, so yeah, I'm excited about it, and I want to thank the committee for all the work that they have done. And I think that the membership is going to be happy to have this rolled out. Okay, back to Denise, if you have something else.
No, I used Anne had sent that her comments and I guess other things that she had collected along, and her corrections are in red and mine are in yellow, and they're just, like I said, they're just typo things. There was one or two things that I felt needed to just be stated just kind of differently, not differently, but in a different location. But minor things. It's just like step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and very easy to decipher, and very easy for the novice, in my opinion, to interpret and how to start. And people they have on the committee are, Kitty Christie is on that committee, and she is very strong in nose work competitions, and she does a lot of judging, and has taken a lot of instructional classes with it, and she's been very beneficial on that committee. So I think that, and there are others also, I just happen to know her, but anyway, so thanks everybody for positive comments, and I'll pass that on to Donna.
Thank you so much, Denise.
You
All
bet.
right. Next item. Okay, so this is the holiday request from the business office to adjust the holiday calendar for the business office to be more in line with the federal holidays. And so I'm just going to go around, and then we can entertain a motion as we see fit once we all have an opportunity to speak. So, Anne?
I am absolutely for this. You were going to investigate what the 2 floating holidays were for?
Yeah, and I didn't get that. I didn't get that in time. But in the past, it has been usually being either in conjunction with July 4th, or with the actual holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas, depending on when Christmas falls.
Liz,
Yeah,
Liz, Sarah told me that
you
he
got it.
usually sets those as Good Friday and Columbus Day.
Oh, okay. So I was completely wrong. So,
but yeah, those are already included, and I think adding those additional holidays that obviously they should get off. I don't think anyone should have to work on a federal holiday, so I support their request.
all right, Carol.
So I also support the request. I do think we definitely should be in line with recognized federal holidays. So, and that I believe now that basically gives them about 14 days, I think, of holidays. So I'm in favor of giving those so that we are in line with the federal holidays. Thank you.
Thanks, Carol. Denise.
Yes, I would approve of that also. Thanks.
All right, Gina.
Excuse me, I support their request.
All right, Jan.
I support the request.
All right, Jean.
Well, there's always me. I support the request on the face of it. I do. What they observe right now is New Year's Day, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, the Friday following Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day. And then they have 2 floating holidays. The ones that we are looking at adding, which I agree, federal holidays, I think they should be closed. I think we should be off, is Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, Juneteenth, Columbus Day, and Veterans Day. So that's 5 different holidays than what they currently have. And then we have just found out that the 2 floating holidays are generally used for Good Friday, which Good Friday, and for Columbus Day. So Columbus Day would take, so for me, from a business perspective and a business that's international in scope, I would support adding all of those holidays, but from past business experiences, I would get rid of one of those floating holidays, and it can either be used as a general Good Friday for everybody, or in one of my past incarnations, a lot of people used it for their birthday. So, I mean, I support adding those 5 to what we already have, but I think that we should take back one of those floating holidays. And then even if we don't do that, I believe that these should all be posted on the ASCA website in an easy place, so that the membership is able to see that so that they can plan accordingly when trying to make calls or trying to reach people. That's what I have to say. Thanks.
Thank you, Jean. I have a question before we go on. The floating days are already, I mean, not specifically, but the policy already allows for the policy days, for the floating days.
Right.
Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And
so these are two different things then, right? Because they're asking for the holidays, and then if we want to take one floating day, we will have to go back to the policy and then have a motion to change that.
Right. I mean,
Okay.
I understand that.
Just want to make sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, that given the case, then we're talking right now about just the federal part of it. And then at some point we'll have to deal with the floating days and change the policy for that. So they're two different, it will be two different motions. Okay, thanks. All right, Rick.
Okay. I don't know. I guess I look at this a little bit different. 14, 15 holidays. That's a lot for a company. I know the corporation that I put many a years with, I believe we received 10. We're not a bank. We're not a federal employer. While I will agree to go with the majority of the board to approve it, but I'm only approving it as a thank you to the office for all of their hard work. But that is a lot of holidays to approve. That's, in my opinion. I don't know. I just don't see it like everybody else. But like I said, I will definitely support the majority and move forward with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Susan?
Yes, so we're adding 4, and yes, I know we have the 2 floaters, and that Columbus Day being a federal holiday, and just because it's a floater on occasion, it's not written down that it's going to always be a floater. I do support this altogether, and I actually just went to pull my policy book to make sure of what holidays we had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. So
We're adding,
yeah, there's
we're adding
8.
5, not 4. We're adding 5, not 4.
Sarah's letter says 4. What are we adding 5?
MLK, President's Day, Juneteenth, Columbus Day, and Veterans Day. That's 5.
No,
I don't think
Columbus
that
Day is not on
Columbus
that
Day
list.
is being added.
I'm sorry?
Columbus Day this year is a floating holiday.
Right, but I thought
So
it was
it's just
on the
the
list.
4 that we're. No, it's Good Friday and Columbus Day are the 2 floating holidays this year.
Yeah, those are the
So,
ones, the 2 floatings that are this year, but they're not in the list to be approved, if that's correct. Is that correct, Carla?
Okay. Columbus is not on the list. Is that what I'm understanding?
That's correct.
That's
Correct.
what I thought. Yeah.
So currently they have 10, and then these 4 to add would be a total of 14, unless we do revisit the floating holidays. There's no mail delivery, which really slows things down when there's not a lot of, it slows your workload, it slows your workflow when the mail is not delivered. And these federal holidays, there's no mail delivery. If that time is used to catch up on other projects, that's great, but it disrupts your workflow if you're at work and things are not in their normal process. So yes, I do support closing on the federal holidays. Thanks.
Thanks, Susan. Yeah, I also support it. I mean, most of my life I've worked for universities, and universities usually, whether they're private or public, state funded, whatever. There are certain federal holidays that they do not allow. For example, I've never had President's Day off. The only time where I had it off was when I actually worked for the federal government. But that being said, you know, the office staff works very hard all year, and you know the points Susan is making is well taken. I mean, they don't even get mail that day, and you know, so I'm okay with it. So I guess I should be the one. I guess I should be the one making the motion since I'm the liaison to the business office, and so I move to approve the request to add the federal holidays to the list of holidays that the business office celebrates and has off.
I'll second it. This is Jan.
Okay, Jan has seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right. Okay, so the next item is the replacement judge for the 2022 Nationals Conformation, and that would be Rick.
Yes, non-regular judge Karen Rosner had to withdraw, so the confirmation chair has asked Brandy Greenhaig to serve as her replacement. She has accepted, so I would like to make a motion to approve Brandy Greenhaig to replace non-regular judge Karen Rosner for the 2022 Nationals non-regular judge.
I'll second, Denise.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to approve this change in the confirmation judge for the non-regular class 2022 Nationals. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion carries. So the next one is the approval of the 2023 Nationals and Finals judge contracts. Rick?
Okay. Looking for approval for the new judges contracts for Nationals and Finals. I believe Calla sent these out to everybody today. Basically, there's an addition of verbiage about judges not being employees and requirement of issuing a 1099 miscellaneous form to all judges who receive $600 or more in fees. This has come from the request of David and Ray. This is something as a business that we need to do to stay compliant. We realize that some judges may be unhappy with this new addition, and that we may end up having to replace some judges that just feel like that this is not financially best for their tax situation to receive a 1099. So we're all aware that we're going to have to make some changes in these contracts. But with that being said, I move to approve the attached judges contracts for the 2023 National and Finals judges.
I second.
Okay, so
this is Susan.
All right. So the motion is on the floor. Does anybody have any questions from Rick first? Because this is a new thing and I'm not sure if. No? Okay. All right. So motion is on the floor. Any further discussion?
No, this is Gina. I just want to say I agree that
Yeah.
we do have to send 1099s. The line between employee, employer, and contract help should not be blurred. And without sending 1099s, can be a questionable area. So I agree with this.
Yeah, and I believe that the auditors also, chimed in on this. So yeah, I agree. It's a necessary change. Any other
I know that
discussion?
there's
This is Susan.
Yeah. Okay, I heard Denise first. Do I
I'm
need
sorry.
to go
Go
around?
ahead.
Maybe I need to go around. Maybe that'll be the easiest thing. Anne?
I don't have anything. I agree with what everyone's saying. Thanks.
All right. Carol?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we really have a choice. I mean, if they're gonna make more, we need to file a 1099. It's what it is. So that's all I have.
All right, Denise?
I was just going to say that I know that there are other organizations that give their judges 1099 forms and have for a long time. So I guess we're just catching up with the times. It's unfortunate that we have to do that, but everybody seems to have a definition and need a definition. So this is our chance to move right in there. So I would agree with having to do that. Thank you.
All right. Gina, do you have anything else?
No, nothing further. Thanks.
All right. Jan?
This is the rules, so following the rules, this shouldn't be a surprise for judges. Thank you.
All right. Jean?
I have nothing to add. Thank you.
Okay. Susan?
I just wanted to ask if Ray was going to be in charge of issuing those 1099s again after the information was provided to him.
I believe that is the way that it has to be done. Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Do you have anything else to present, Rick, or?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right. So I guess no further discussion. Then I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right. So Rick is working hard tonight.
Liz,
the next, yeah.
Before we go on to number 9, I do have an addition to number 8.
Okay.
Yeah, they would, the NAC, and I guess David and Ray would like to issue these 1099s for 2022 as well. The judges' contracts have already gone out, so we may get some pushback. I just kind of wanted the board's feeling on this, whether they feel like it is okay to go ahead and issue these for 2022 as well, or should we just wait and make it effective for 2023 since 2022 judges' contracts have already gone out?
Sure. All right. Let's go around real quick then and answer Rick's question. Anne?
Yeah, we've already had to make one change to the 2022 contracts because they were sent out with the $200 on it, even though the board motion had passed to raise the fee. And so I feel it kind of has to, I mean, how many, are we just talking about the stock judges? Because all the other judges are just 1 or 2 days. So which, if I actually, here's a question to you. I don't have a issue with it. I actually think it should be done, but I think maybe the question that I want answered is, are we only talking about the stock judges?
No, we're talking about
Ability
all.
judge.
But all the judges, but the finals are only one day. So how many, even though even obedience finals are 2 days, and so that would be
So
600.
the 1099, the 1099 is a requirement. If
And it's
the money
for
is
national-
more than 600.
It's for nationals and finals, not just
Yeah.
finals.
Yeah. So if they're getting a fee, we're not talking about the reimbursement part. We're talking about the actual fee.
No.
If they're getting 600 or more, we are required to send them a 1099.
Okay, but it's not all of the judges, because if they only are there one day, then it isn't enough, correct?
Yeah,
if they're only judging one day
Just
and
the
they're
season.
only getting paid 300, then it's 300.
You've got
yes,
judges
Susan,
in
go ahead.
confirmation. You've got your 2 days of obedience judges. Any judge that judges for 2 days or more
Yeah.
is going to be impacted by this. It's going to cover, excuse me, obedience. I've got 2 judges for nationals that are going to be hit. All of the stock judges are going to be hit, not the juniors. Where's my rally tab? That's interesting. Rally's got 2 judges that are going to be hit. We've got 2 judges in agility that are going to be hit. We've got just 2 judges in confirmation that are going to be hit. Your doc judge is going to be hit. So I didn't count as I was listing them off, but there's going to be almost at least 10, I think, about a dozen that are.
So about a dozen
Well,
that are going to be impacted. Yeah. So let me continue going around because we had Ann. So Carol.
So, I mean, I kind of feel like now that we know it's a rule, we have to do it. I don't know that I personally have a problem with doing it or not doing it, but I really think we're bound by accounting rules. Like, you have to do it if you pay them more than $600. I think it's $600, right? That you have to do it. So I think we have to do what we're supposed to do. And I mean, I will have to say that it's hard for me to fathom that you would accept a judging assignment just because you got a 1099, you wouldn't take it. But I mean, I don't know. Everybody has their own situation, so I don't know how that plays into, different people have different things. But anyway, I think we have to do it. I don't think we have a choice. We pretty much admitted we know that it's required, and it looks like there's quite a few people that actually are going to make the amount this year, 2022. So I think due to process, we're going to have to do it. That's all I have.
Thank you, Carol. Denise.
Well, I'm with Carol. Yeah, if that's the requirement, we don't even need to discuss it. It's one of those things that has to be done. And David, I know, is he's very much in line with doing it. So I would say yes, we need to do it. That's all.
All right, Gina.
Yep, ignorance was bliss, but we know it now, so we should be sending it for 22.
All right, Jan.
Oh, I might have opened the can of worms because I asked about 1099s for the nationals. who was sending those. So yes, it is a rule. So it is an expectation. And now with the increase in judges' fees, they will receive 1099s, I believe, in both years. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Jean?
Yeah, we need to do it, whether it's inconvenient or not. We need to do it for both years. Thanks.
All right. Susan?
Yes, it needs to be done. It's going to impact 16 judges. And so I understand we may have some that are going to wish to back out of their obligation. And I guess we'll just cross that bridge when we come to it. But I think it needs to be done. We need to keep our noses clean, so to speak.
Thank you, Susan. Yep, I agree. Unfortunately, that's the requirement, and ASCA, needs to be aware of the requirements and be compliant. So, all right. I guess that answers your question. Yeah, Rick?
Do we need a motion to amend those judges' contracts for 2022?
It would probably be a good idea to have a motion, yes.
Okay, with that being said, I would like to amend the 2022 finals and nationals judges contracts for the 2022 ASCA Nationals to state any judge receiving fees over $600 will be issued a 1099.
I'll second. Just Gina.
Okay, so yeah, motion on the floor by Rick, seconded by Gina to approve a revision to the 2022 judges contracts to state that a 1099 will be sent to those judges that have that receive $600 or more worth of fees for their judging assignment.
It should also have the increase of $300 on it if we're going to send them out.
Okay, so that if that hasn't been done
next.
What is it in the contract is the question.
It said 200 in the original, in the contracts that were out.
So that's my question. If it hasn't been changed yet, even after we approve the motion, then probably, the changes to the contracts should also reflect that.
I agree with that, Liz.
So do you want to amend the motion to say that, or?
Yes. Calla, just please amend it to include the $300 fee.
Per day?
Yes, per day.
Yeah. All right. All right. So the motion is on the floor. So any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, so the next one is the amended budget for the 2022 Nationals, and that one is also Rick. Rick? So our next item is the 2022 amendment to the budget.
Okay, sorry,
to the Nationals budget. So go ahead.
I got you. I had you on mute. The NAC has amended the budget after some changes have been made. I sent everything or Calla has sent everybody the different changes, but I'll quickly go over them so the membership knows what we're talking about. First one, all judges' fees were raised from $200 to $300 per day. We added the cost of the finals rosettes. We added the cost of the agility round rosettes. On the committee expense tab, the following changes were made. We removed the lines for Betty Jaco and Barb Budney. We added a line for the new hospitality chair, and we added a line for the new Nationals office manager. And on the confirmation tab, the following judges were changed. Melinda Vinson is now a confirmation finals judge, and Brandy Greenhagen is a non-regular judge. On the general expense tab, the NAC added a line for Zoom for some of their Zoom calls. I believe it's $135. And they added $876 to line 20 of the budget tab in order to balance the budget. Susan could probably give a little bit more insight than I can on that, but there was a $876 that was hanging out there on the budget, and they just added it to line 20 to make the budget. So I don't know if there's any questions, but I would move to approve the submitted changes for the 2022 Nationals budget.
Do you need a second? This is Ann. I'll second it.
Sure. I'm never sure whether we should second these ones because Rick is the liaison to the committee, but I guess better to be sure, right? So, the motion is to approve the noted amendments to the 2022 Nationals budget. Any further discussion? All right, I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. So the last item for tonight is the revised 2022 Nationals premium. Rick?
Okay, there's been several changes to the premium for this year's Nationals, the 2022. I'll kind of list some of the changes. Betty and Barb taken off the committee list. Rachel Beth's title has changed to chairman. Mary Jo Scherer added as the Nationals office manager. TJ Tongi added as hospitality chair. Rick Gann listed as liaison. Confirmation judge change, Karen Rosner to Brandy Greenhagen. Dock jumping, number of launches changed from 7 to 4. And the ASCA raffle information changed to reflect that ASCA will not be holding the raffle. And those are the changes. So I would move to approve the submitted changes.
I'll second. This is Gina.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor by Rick, seconded by Gina, to approve the amendments to the 2022 Nationals premium. Any further discussion?
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Rick, has the ASCA committee been notified that there will not be a raffle this year?
I can't say that there won't be a raffle. ASCA will not be doing a raffle. I still believe if a affiliate wants to step up and take on that responsibility, it can still be done, but ASCA cannot do it. But I can get an answer to that question.
ASCA
Okay,
was
I
notified
just-
that
oh.
ASCA will not be holding the raffle for them.
Okay, great. Thanks, Callum.
Any other questions or comments?
I do have one change that needs to be made. I will not be serving as a local liaison, and that's something that I'll get with Laura on to make that change before this goes to publication. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Susan. Any other comments or questions before we move on to voting? All right, I'm going to call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. I think we got quite a bit done, and thank you to anybody out of the membership who is listening, and have a good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone.